What's happening? It's John from Wrecked. It's Monday, July 29th. Been a while since I made my last video. Nothing serious, just life, work. A lot of the stuff gets involved, and it's hard to get the time. I have a bunch of records I'd like to show you. I picked out 5 of the most recent ones. Before I start that, a little bit of band news. Wrecked is making our live return to the live stage at Mr. Beery's of all places. Friday, August 9th. We'll be coming back to Beery's. I don't know much about the show now. It was just finalized today, so check our social media, check my social media if you really want to see what's happening for the details. It's 3 other bands that I don't know who they are. We've never played with them, so I'm excited to play with some new people. So yeah, Friday, August 9th, Mr. Beery's. All right, the 5 records I do have, 3 of them follow a theme that I've been all about these days, and 2 of them don't. But I mean, I'd like to start with the 2 that don't, and I'll get into the theme of what I've been listening to these days. Anyways, first one is great record here. This is Vampire Weekend's Contra. This is their sophomore effort. This is 2010 on the XL Recordings. This came out, I was working as an electrician. I remember buying the CD the day it came out, and I'd been a big fan of them since their first album. I put it on, and the CD player in my, I was driving a Jeep Liberty at the time, real piece of shit. And I put it on, and nothing jumped out at me. Not one song was like as good as the ones on their first, as catchy. I was like, oh no, they hit it, the sophomore slump. So I forgot about this record because the next one, Modern Vampires of the City, was a killer. So the other day or the other week, I was driving home from work, and I heard a song, Cousins, which is on here, and I'm like, man, that's a good song. I'm like, hey, I don't have Contra. I'm like, I wonder if it's still available on vinyl. I went on Amazon and sure enough, it was there. So I picked it up, and I'm happy I did because this is a great record. I don't know why I didn't like it when it came out. Standouts from here would be Cousins, Giving Up the Gun, Diplomat Son, I Think You're a Contra, Holiday, and Horchata. It's a great record. Vampire Weekend is one of my favorite bands of the last 20 years that I got into. So I'm happy that I have this on vinyl. I have most of this stuff on vinyl. Contra, I always thought it was a reference to the Iran-Contra scandal of the 80s. Now it's a tribute to the Nintendo game Contra, which is a great game. But I found that interesting. They actually named it after that. The cover, real quick. The cover looks like any Brooklyn hipster, right, from 2010 or now, right? Popped collar on the polo. But this picture is actually from 1983. I always thought it was one of their girlfriends or something. But anyways, from 1983. So the band found this online, found the picture, and contacted the photographer. Paid him, used the photo. Everything's square, right? Well, if you believe the story, there's a girl who goes into a Urban Outfitters, buys this record, brings it home, and to show her mom, say, Mom, doesn't this girl look like you? The mom looks at it and says, holy shit, that is me. Ann Kirsten Kennis, I think her name is. So she gets some litigation against the photographer, against Vampire Weekend. They settle, everyone's happy, everyone gets paid, so there you have it. But I always thought that the cover was always great. I don't know what about it I liked. Again, because she could be from 83, she could be from 2023, 2010. It doesn't, I don't know. Something about it. All right. The second album I have, which doesn't really follow the theme, but doesn't make it any less important. No introduction needed. This is Amy Winehouse, Frank. This is from 2003 on Island Records. This came out actually on my birthday in 2003, October 20th. I'm not a huge fan of singers like this. I'm more of a rock and roll guy, if you've watched any of the videos I showed of the vinyl I bought. But Amy Winehouse is one of a kind. Once in a while, somebody comes along like her, who can sing, who has a soul like her. A lot of people did the style of her, that throwback to the jazz club, blues club thing, but nobody did it with the soul that she has or had. And it's sad because, unfortunately, as great as she was, burned out really quick. So I just hope that she did enjoy some success and some happiness while she was on top of the game. Because I remember watching these Glastonbury shows that she was on, and they were flawless. This chick could sing, man. It's the soul that you wouldn't believe. And I figured I'd start at this record. I didn't know any of these songs. I'm still trying to get into it. The song "Fuck Me Pumps" I really like. I like October Song. I like "In My Bed" so far. This is pressed at Abbey Road Studios, mastered at Abbey Road Studios, I should say. Half-speed mastered, so it's 45 RPM to make it sound better. The system I have here isn't great. It's not bad, but once I upgrade eventually, I'm sure it'll sound better. But it's a great record, and I'm looking forward to getting into her stuff. Again, Amy Winehouse, you could say, she got more respect after she passed so young. I don't think she got enough respect, to be honest with you. All right, now here's the three that I have here, which follow a theme. And that theme would be of what I'm currently into now, which would be country music. Not that I'm currently into it. I've been into it my whole life. But I go through phases of what I listen to. Right now it's been country. It's been country for the whole year, pretty much. When I was young, my father was a big music fan. And he used to play a lot of rock and roll. Stones, Beatles, Zeppelin, Doors, Pink Floyd, that kind of Eric Clapton, Hendrix. But he was a big country fan as well. I say country, probably, the Allman Brothers Band, which was more rock, though. But Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, the original Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, Graham Parsons, that more folky Bakersfield country, but either way, he had some of that stuff. And I as a kid, I loved it, As a kid, I loved the show The Dukes of Hazzard, which Waylon Jennings did the theme song, Good Old Boys. He also narrated that show. To me, The Dukes of Hazzard was that was America to me. That was the future to me. I was a kid. And seeing these two dudes drive that car, 69 Dodge Charger, General Lee, painted orange with the numbers on the side with the Dixie flag on the roof, driving this car, and speeding around and hanging out, just doing what they're doing, that represented freedom to me, That, man, one day I'm going to have my license, I'm going to do this. Not necessarily run moonshine like the Duke boys, but I'm going to do this, I'm going to have a car loud and fast. And I did have a car that was loud and fast, so there's that. Getting back to Waylon Jennings, he did the theme song. So I'll do this one first. This is Shooter Jennings, his first son. This is The Wolf. This came out in 2007 on Universal Recordings. I knew about him because he was in the limelight because he was dating Drea DiMatteo from The Sopranos. So I was like, oh, who's this guy? That's him back there. That's him in Cigarette and the Aviators, Ray-Bans. Looks cool, this band, right? So I really didn't get too much into his music until I heard this record a couple of months ago. They cover Walk of Life by Dire Straits. And instead of the synthesizer part, pedal steel does it. And he rips it up. Whoever does pedal steel on this is ridiculous. So that's what made me want to get this record. And I'm glad I did, because out of the 13 songs, there's 5 or 6 off the bat that are great. You have Tangled Up Roses, which sounds like Crimson and Clover, sounds like Bob O'Reilly almost by The Who, but it's a great song. Slow Train's great. Concrete Cowboys. Slow Train features the Oak Ridge Boys, as a matter of fact. The Wolf, all great songs. And like I said, he's got a bunch of stuff Shooter Jennings. So I figured I'd start here with getting into him. So I'm going to get a couple more as as I get into him more and more. But very good songwriter, very good vocalist. He doesn't borrow too much of his father, which I respect that. He's reminiscent of his father, that style of outlaw country, though. All right, fourth up, second in the series that I have here of the country records. This is Sarah Shook and the Disarmers, Revelations. Came out in 2024 on Abeyance Records. Sarah Shook, I've spoken about her. Oh, man, I have all her records. I don't know if I've shown all of them, but I do have all of them. Got into her probably 2018, 2017, somewhere around there. Right before COVID, I got into her. Very honest country music. The one before this was Night Roamer. I didn't love it because at the same time she recorded that, she also had some like this indie alt rock band. and some of that influences came into the Sarah Shook and the Psalmist and made it not country enough for me. So I didn't really love it. She does a little bit on this too. I mean, out of the 10 songs, 3 or 4 of them are kind of more rock and roll, which in my opinion, she doesn't. That's not what she does. She does country, and there's country cuts on here. Holy shit! Revelations. You don't get to tell me, motherfucker. Stone Door off the top of my head. Killers. 4 Killers. Band is great. The guitar player, Blake Talent, his name is, rips on the guitar. Her previous guitar player, though, I think his name was Eric Peterson. He quit. He was the main songwriter of that band too, and you could tell. But he quit. He had some arm issues or wrist issues. There's not much online you can read about it. It's weird. But he quit, and so she forged on. I mean, she's doing a great job. One of the artists that I always try to watch and see what she does. All right, last but not least, I found this artist on TikTok. You might ask yourself, why does a 48-year-old man have TikTok? I have TikTok because it's another avenue to find music. It's also, I like sending the videos to my wife, my brother, my stepsons, my friends. Usually videos of people, getting hit by footballs, baseballs. Not no one getting killed, none of that stuff. But funny videos. So on my feed always comes up music because that's pretty much that and muscle cars. So this guy came out on my feed singing a song, "The Greatest Story Ever Told" by the Grateful Dead. Now, that's a song, it's not really a Grateful Dead song, it's a Robert Hunter solo song, and it was called, I messed this up, I don't know the name of it, but it was something, Milk Pump Blues or some shit, and it was garbage. The original version of it was shit. And so Bobby Weir recorded it for his Ace solo record, which is the version that the Dead does, and one of my favorite Dead songs. So I see this guy come up on TikTok and he's singing that song. Now, if you know anything about the Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia had a very unique voice. He doesn't sing "Greatest Story Ever Told." Bob Weir does. I hate Bob Weir's voice. Can't stand it. And because he either shouts it or he fucking stumbles through it. One of the two. He never really sings it with any conviction. But this guy did, and I couldn't believe it. This is so it made me want to get his record. This is Tyler Childers' "Purgatory." So I saw him doing this "Greatest Story Ever Told" and with this passion that I've never seen before, and this voice that sounded like old Chris Robinson, and from the Black Crowes, and but with a much better tone and a real country twang to it. And I couldn't believe it. So I started getting into his stuff. I figured I'd start here because it's not his first album. His first album, I don't know if it was ever pressed or if it was ever even released or what. But you can't really, there's not much information on it online. I'm sure if I looked hard enough, I could get it. But I figured I'd start here. This was on Amazon, so I got it. So this came out in 2017 on Hickman Holler Records. Also was written by Tyler Childers. This is produced by Sturgill Simpson. It's a great sounding record. I mean, there's not much percussion on it, not much drums, not much driving, mostly guitar, banjo, fiddle. I swear to God's great on this. Feathered Indies is great on this. Banded Clovis is great on this. Purgatory is great on this. That's just a touch. That's just off the top of my head. I don't know how old this guy is. He looks young as hell. He's he used to have a beard and long hair. He cut it and he looks like he's 10 years younger. Anyways, I don't know how old he is, but I'm gonna be checking him out. He's got a bunch since then too, a bunch of records. So I want to start here, at least the close to the beginning as I could. So those are the 5 records. I have more, but I'll save them for a later date. That's pretty much it. I'm into country music. I always have been, and lately that's all I've been really listening to. So I don't know. One of these days I'll form the country band I want to form. One of these days. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Come check us out on August 9th at Mr. Beery's, and just look forward to a good show. And hopefully I see some of you guys out there. Other than that, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Have a great night.